We just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going old school. Yes, we are going old school for the Flash review for episode 12. And another solid episode. Now, this is probably not one of the best Flash episodes so far this year, but some key story elements developed. And obviously, we got to see Peekaboo. I think that's what Kaitlyn called her. Or as I like to say, the Nightcrawler knockoff. Sorry, DC fans, don't mean to be a prick, but still, very cool character. You know, teleporting is always a cool power. Obviously, like I just mentioned, Nightcrawler, and apparently this DC character has it as well. And, you know, a very good challenge for the Flash. I mean, the only person that could be as fast as the Flash would be someone who could teleport. Obviously, she proved to be a challenge until they found her weakness, which she exploited, and we know what happens from there. But to kick off the episode, we still see that Cisco is still discussing things with Rathaway regarding Ronnie, and you know, I was hoping we would see him again. I didn't expect that we see him so soon, so it was nice to see the character back. I did like that character from last week's episode, so it was good to see him back in the fray. And obviously, we all know what happened as the episode developed and progressed. Opening scene was really good. Obviously highlighting the fact that Flash's training is paying off. He's getting faster as he saved the girl right as the explosion was commencing. And even later on, we saw him that he saved himself when he got shot in the back of the neck and barely got the bullet. Just as it was about to like penetrate his skin, he had a big bruise on himself, or a big bruise on the back of his neck after the fact. So you know, a lot of things developing here. We're still seeing the Firestorm Project. We're learning more about that. We're now learning that Ronnie and the Doctor fused together, and it's basically Ronnie's body with the Doctor's mind. At least that's what we think. But it could be something where it flip-flops back and forth. You know, we didn't get too much on the Reverse Flash, but you know, we see now that Barry is starting to move on from Iris, and he met a girl, a very pretty girl. And while he was out with Kaitlyn Stark, they were kind of doing a combination friend date / stakeout. And obviously, Kaitlyn got very drunk. I'm sure Barry could have smashed it if he wanted to, but he's a nice guy. Personally, if it was me, I would have smashed it. But very, very pretty, that girl, Kaitlyn Snow. So, you know, and that was kind of cool. You know, a very funny scene with him and her singing on stage. Obviously, he's a pretty decent singer. I don't know if that was really him or not, but either way, it was a cool scene. She's atrocious when it comes to singing, so that was pretty bad on her part. But we'll give her an excuse that she was drunk. But I don't think it would be any better if she was sober. And he meets this girl, and she pretty much just throws herself at him because Barry is so bad at signals, you know. So she pretty much forces her number upon him, and away we go. And during the show, while he's trying to capture Peekaboo, and I believe the other guy's name is Clay. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, he's you know, he wants to help Iris with a story for the paper. When he finally goes to help her, she's going out with obviously Eddie. So, and that's when him and Kaitlyn finally get together. You know, so a good episode because we see a lot of story developments in different directions, not only from the superhero standpoint, but from a personal degree. And you know what? That's good because when you really think about it, throughout the season, we've really been discussing and highlighting and seeing Barry's development on the Flash, and it's been progressing, that we really haven't seen much of his personal life progress. He even acknowledges that in the show when he's talking with Kaitlyn about, you know, his life consists of running fast, catching bad guys, and watching Netflix. So it was nice to see him get out there and live a normal life for a little bit. And I gotta say, when he picked up his date at Iris's job, I loved the look on her face because she's so used to Barry being at her beckoning call. It was nice to see that he got there and it wasn't for her. And he even told her, "I'm not here for you." I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? So another and with that said, on top of all that, we get another very emotional, very powerful scene with Barry and his father towards the end of the show. And his father basically coming out and saying that he knows he's the Flash. And when he delivered that message to him, as, you know, in regards to the Flash, it was just very touching. You know, his father has been such a good person. For some, you know, a lot of people in his position would be spiteful. They'd be mad. They'd be angry. But he's been a very supportive dad. He's been very understanding. The fact that he still works with Joe, you know, because he helped Joe and Barry on this case. The fact that they're still friends and still have some sort of camaraderie, it really goes to tell you the kind of person that Barry's father is. And I think that says this kind of tells you what kind of man you're dealing with in Barry. And we've seen that from Barry too. Barry's very compassionate, very giving, very selfless, and that's what makes the show good. Finally, at the end, we got to see somebody, or I should say something, that we haven't seen since like the first or second episode or third episode. Gorilla Grodd, who I knew nothing about when they first showed him earlier this season. And I was nicely educated by some DC comic fans who are well known, and that's going to be a very interesting development. All these villains are starting to come out. Rathaway escaped now, so he's out there. You still have Heatwave and Captain Cold. Obviously, Firestorm is a big question mark. That's a big curveball. Now you got Gorilla Grodd out there, and you still got the Reverse Flash. So there's a lot of villains out there, and you gotta wonder just how challenging this is going to be for Barry going into the end of the season, because I don't know, I can't imagine a lot of these villains not being there for the long haul. So what kind of impact they're going to have as the season progresses and eventually ends is really going to not only set the tone for season 2, but really going to tell us what kind of in what way is Barry going to develop his power, because now he's running upon enemies that are really giving him a hard time. I mean, Peekaboo gave him a hard time tonight. And, you're still talking about Reverse Flash, Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold. So very, very interesting. So another solid episode, good story elements all the way around, not only from the hero standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. It'll be interesting to see if this woman is going to be someone that he's going to see regularly. If you remember last week's highlights, they showed him making out in his house. So I got to imagine she's going to be around for a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see how Iris reacts to this as well. And even Kaitlyn Snow, I got a feeling that Kaitlyn's got a little soft spot for Barry, so it looks like Barry's going to be reining in the woman pretty soon, which is good for him. All right. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going old school. Yes, we are going old school for the Flash review for episode 12. And another solid episode. Now, this is probably not one of the best Flash episodes so far this year, but some key story elements developed. And obviously, we got to see Peekaboo. I think that's what Kaitlyn called her. Or as I like to say, the Nightcrawler knockoff. Sorry, DC fans. Don't mean to be a prick. But still, very cool character. Teleporting is always a cool power. Obviously, like I just mentioned, Nightcrawler. And apparently this DC character has it as well. And, a very good challenge for the Flash. I mean, the only person that could be as fast as the Flash would be someone who could teleport. Obviously, she proved to be